Right. Hello, hello, hello. What is going on? Facebook, IG, YouTube. I hope that you all have had a great, great week. I am still on the high from the pajama day party. Oh gosh. I no words. That's all I can say is no words. But I want to say thank you, a humble thank you to every one of you who supported me along this journey. God always give destiny helpers, and it's never a one-woman show. So whatever you did from setup, verbal support, likes, shares, prayers, whatever you did, speakers, all of that, photographer, all of that. I just want to tell you thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I appreciate you so much for giving and sowing into what was going to be birthed from me. So I'm still on the high. But I promise you, brothers, this is not just for women. My platform is not just for women. I love you all too. So be sure to type in, to share this with a brother, tag a brother, because I'm focusing on you all today. Like, we've had our time. So tonight I want to talk a little bit about the Superman syndrome. Now, I think I may have to do a couple of videos because this is a lot to unpack with the Superman syndrome. To be that provider, to have to show up, not really to share emotions, all of those. Oh God, it's so much to unpack with Superman syndrome. But I also know that most men are kind of analytical, and I had this one gentleman to tell me, we DIYers, we do it ourselves. We able to kind of just help. We just try to figure it out. All right, but that's why they have some people here to help us along the journey, like IEB counselors, therapists, doctors, coaches, support people. This is what we're here for, is to help along the journey, to assist to be that better man that you need to be. So I just want to break down some statistics first. So first statistic is that 9% of men in the U.S., and I'm focusing in the U.S., has daily signs of depression and anxiety daily. And male depression is often undiagnosed. And reasons why is, with men, they tend to internalize. So they're not able to fully express, not gonna say they're not able to fully express. They may not be able to really express, okay, I'm feeling sad. It may come out being irritable, angry a lot, more withdrawn. And when you internalize it, it really affects you physically. Heart issues, high blood pressure, heart attack, low sex drive. Many of these things affect because men tend to internalize so much. And then also, men tend to have the highest rate of suicide than women. And they tend to complete because men tend to do more drastic measures. And the main reason why is because when you are holding in, or you are trying to cope with stress in other methods and other ways, and you're not really taking that time out to release, then you are internalizing. And when you continually internalize, it's just going to continually pack. And when I talk about the Superman syndrome, it's these men. I want to talk to my brothers that you feel like you have to be this protector, that you feel like you're not able to really express your emotions. And then if you do, you are seen like you are weak. You think about even from children, that if, children come, the little girl comes and she says, oh my gosh, she's hurt herself. She scraped her knee. Oh, we want to put some alcohol on it. You want to feel better and all this. But then with the men, you're a boy, get up, you tough. You're supposed to be tough. You're supposed to make it work. Like, they are told, you big boys don't cry. What are you doing crying? Toughen up those tears. That is shown as a sign of weakness. And even though we have made progress, there are still many men who struggle, and they come to therapy at a place wherein I know I should have been here a long time ago. I've been trying to figure this thing out. And then when I do try to talk to someone about it, I feel like they don't understand me. I feel like that when I do try to talk to people, they feel like I should just get over it. My feelings aren't truly acknowledged as a man, because men are supposed to work it out. Men are supposed to just do. They're supposed to just go. They're supposed to financially provide. They're supposed to provide for the children. And you're supposed to know how to fix something, because listen, you can't really truly be a man and not really try to know how to fix something around the house, right? So you're supposed to be able to know how to be a Mr. Fix. You're supposed to be able to wake up. You're supposed to be able to be the mechanic. You're supposed to be able to do the yard work. All of these things are so many responsibilities that a man's supposed to be able to do in his household. So I say to my men that if you want to be this truly Superman, when Clark took that cape off, and I'm about to mess all of the Clark kick. When Clark Kent took off that cape, he was like, I'm done. And as I was telling my friend, she was talking about her husband and how, when he's out, he's this biker, he's this strong man. But when he's home, he's like this guy. She's trying to figure out, can't really make decisions. I said, because he's able to be the real person around you, and he feels some form of safety around you. We have to allow that point of safety for people to be able to release as a man. That I say to you that it is okay to cry, that it is okay to be healed, that you don't have to look for it in drugs, alcohol, or the sex with the next woman. You don't have to try to look at it through your job and try to get the next career, because sometimes men feel like that if I'm not able to be that provider, that if I'm not at a certain financial status, that if I don't have certain things, I'm not presenting myself in a certain way, that I'm not going to be accepted, that I don't really feel myself like a man because I'm trying to live up to society standards, I'm trying to live up to my father's standards, or I'm trying to prove something different. So I feel like that I have to show up, I have to be this man, I have to work hard. There's no such thing as being lazy, because I don't want to be this lazy man. So I got to be this provider. I have to provide financially, and I have to make it work. But when you begin to release this as a man, that it is okay to heal from trauma, that it is okay to work through some of those things that you're dealing with, that you don't have to have alcohol to cope, you don't have to have sex to cope, but you can cope with life. And you can have this place where you can talk to some men and not really feel like I'm being judged. A lot of times men feel like that if I say something, I have the most men who will come to me after a whole event, and we have talked about stuff, we have processed stuff. They are the most frequent ones to come to me after an event and want to process something. And I'm thinking, if I could get all these men, all these individuals in this one room to realize that you are not alone in this process, that there are men who actually struggle with self-esteem issues, but they're trying to cover it up with going to the gym or trying to have the nice best car or whatever. There are men who actually struggle with various things, but they're hard to discuss, because I don't want to seem like I'm the man. I'm not the man. There is strength in vulnerability. I want to say that again. There is strength in you allowing yourself to be vulnerable as a man. And when you think about society, and I can't even truly unpack, because there is so much society-wise with African-American men and culture-wise of what they have dealt with. And you think about even with various cultures of what they have been taught and what they need to do as a man, that when you begin to internalize all of that and you begin to turn inward and not really allowing yourself to release, It's like you're constantly stuffing a bag full of stuff. I'm going to put this, it's like you're putting so much stuff in here. I got so much finances, all this stuff, so many other things I'm dealing with. And this bag that you're carrying is so much weight that you're trying to carry on your shoulders. And if I don't take this time out to really deal with the man within, as Michael Jackson talked about, I got to deal with the man in the mirror. And what you fail to realize as a man, that if I don't do what I need to do to take care of me, if I'm not doing what I need to do as a man to actually lead, or if I'm not able to do what I need to do as a man to take care of myself as a man, then it not only affects myself as a man, but it affects other areas of my life. What would it look like as a man that I'm able to say, you know what? It's all right. It's okay for me to have a day that's not the best of the day. I may not be at this place financially, but as a man, I'm doing this work and I have what we call them good, clean jobs. I'm not out here in the street slinging drugs or doing things risky, unlawfully. I'm doing some legal stuff. That is what you are as a man. It doesn't matter about your finances. It doesn't matter of where you have come from. Yes, it's good to be able to have the money, but there are many people with money, even as a man, that because they haven't dealt with this man within, that they are still struggling. They still struggling with self-esteem issues. And then they still feel like I got to cover this up and have on the best shoes, the car. I got to have all these things, but it's supplements, constant supplements. And then we think about men who have not had the father in the home, and then they really didn't have that father there to support them along this journey, or to really show them. So they had to just kind of figure out, because no matter what, I don't care what people say, women can try to do the best job, but it's something about being in the presence of a man to show a man how to be a man. That's why it's good for mentorship. But even in that, we have to be able to tell these young men, to tell these boys that it is okay to cry, that it is okay to release, that it is okay to have one of those days that you're not feeling at your best. And then if you are feeling more irritable, if you know that something's not going right in your body, go to the doctor. Some men are so hard-headed. They'll wait until the end of the end and then say, okay, well, let me go get checked. Get yourself checked. Do these regular checkups. Do what you need to do. So as I talked about, with the lack of the father in the home and really showing that, there are a lot of men that's dealing with mother issues too, because I've experienced those firsthand. I've experienced that firsthand, that when a man does not have that true love mothers, you are important as well. When they talk about that parent household, it takes two. I don't care what they say. Both parents bring an aspect of character building in for a child. And when that man does not have that love from that mother, it can begin to develop some form of hatred that's here in the heart for women. Or they're not able to truly connect, or they're not really able to be at a place where they're really truly able to accept love because of that lack of that nurturing that they did not receive from the mother. So I say to my men today, you can begin to take off that cape. Superheroes, as I talked about in that other video for the Superwoman Syndrome, that they have so many roles, but the men, you all are expected. I laugh because when I have some of these things with men, and they say, I've done this, and she don't even acknowledge what I'm doing. I said, ooh, I've been guilty of that. And I said, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna acknowledge when I see a brother out here doing a thing, and he's out here being this good father. He's out here trying to fix stuff, even though it might not be fixed right, and I'm gonna have to end up calling someone else. I'm gonna appreciate the effort as a man's man. The man that try to show up and be strong and bold. Being strong and bold is also knowing what my weaknesses are as well. That if I am tired, I'm going to take rest. I'm not going to push the limits in my body and myself. That, okay, financially, I may not be where I want to be financially, but I'm going to start learning money management, how to invest certain things to get up these skills and not feel like it's just got to be more money, more money, more money. But I'm going to learn how to manage my money as a man. I'm not going to start looking at what the social status should be, but I'm going to look at what is it for me that I have that I can contribute to this world, because as a man, I have something. It's something about when a man shows up that's strong within himself. Listen, and it's not so much as because you're looking good. Because there are many that look good, but on the inside, oh my gosh, so broke down. And the reason why is because I haven't dealt with the man within. I encourage you today, my brother, to take off that cape. I don't know if you didn't receive the love. I don't care if you didn't see the acknowledgement. I'm here to tell you as your sister that I acknowledge and I appreciate you. I know that you are that person that, you're able to do it yourself. I know that you are that person that's going to make it happen. I know that you are that protector, but I promise you that as you allow God to be able to lead your life, and even though that you are that protector, that even those who are protectors still need a moment of reprieve, that as a phone, you see this phone is on 10% now, you got to have that moment of recharge. You got to have that moment to allow yourself to release all of that weight. As I talked about, that weight you carry on your shoulders, that society has told you, that maybe generationally that has been told to you, of what you need to do as a man, of how you need to show up, of how you need to do, of how you need to make it happen. But you're trying to figure it out. This life is totally different than it was in the 1920s and 1900s. So I got to figure out how to make this thing work as a man, of what society is telling me what I need to do. These gender roles of what I need to fulfill, you need to try to kind of navigate of how this can work for me. But I can't be everything to everybody. But me being able to be what I need to be solid as a man would be enough to be able to show up. And ladies, let's show a little bit of appreciation, especially Father's Day, because sometimes they don't get all the recognition. They don't. I see that even when I go to church, all this, we don't give them that love sometimes that they need. We need to be able to show them a little bit of love, that we appreciate the hard work that's being done, and allowing that moment of release. That if they are coming to you and saying, I'm having a bad day, or they need to think about it, give them that time away. Let them have that moment of peace. Brothers, you got to open up your mouth. You got to say, I need this rest. You got to take that time out for you. You got to get those regular checkups. You know the things you need to be able to do to show up as a man, but you need to be able to be well emotionally to be able to show up effectively. You need to be able to be well healthy-wise to be able to show up effectively. When you're able to provide financially, all of these things, and you're doing it tired, you're doing it frustrated, you're doing it irritable, that's not doing anything for the people that you are protecting, or that you're being. So brothers, I know. I've heard, I can count story after story after story of how I've been able to help men. Yes. Even with the low sex drive, we were able to get there because they were able to release some of that stress. Yes, they were able to walk in a different type of swag because they were able to release all that weight from mom, dad, all that weight that they have to deal with from society. Yes, they were still able to show up from working with me because they were able to say, listen, I know that I'm a man, but I'm also human. I'm a man, but I am also human. So when I began to start feeling like I'm more irritable, I might need to stop. If I feel like I'm snapping, if I feel like I'm being more withdrawn, if I'm in my head a lot, and I really don't want to deal with people like that, as a man, I might need to take a step back and say, wait a minute, what's going on here? Is it the finances? What is it that I'm keep trying to figure out? And allow people in to help you. And we need to start having more programs, seminars, because we have it for the women. We women will get together. It's nothing for us to get together. But men, we gotta start getting together and allowing ourselves to be able to heal past that. So download, I got this free resource, Dealing with the Man Within. I want you to download this resource that's going to be for you today. That's going to be free. This is for you brothers. I need to really talk about a lot of stuff dealing with the man within. So this may be another video soon. I might have to do another video, second video, because there is so much to unpack with a man dealing with the Superman syndrome. And I talked about it from a basic standpoint of being a provider, being that protector, and really when you don't feel like that togetherness, financial, all that stuff, and really internalizing and dealing with that depression. But there is so much to unpack with men and truly healing and allowing yourself to truly walk out and knowing that I can be a superhero, but being a superhero is also realizing that Clark Kent, like when I take that cape off, it's a wrap. You got to have that moment to reprieve. You got to have that moment to recharge. You got to have that time to release. It's needed. It's needed. So download that resource on today. Thank you all so much again. As always, I always say you can always begin today to begin a new start. So take today